It's time for our next week of work. Make sure that you're remembering that as of last week, this is all mandatory, which means we're really at school. We're really doing what we have to do. It's just like going to school, okay? So going in and doing your work is just as important as it was getting up and going to school before, okay? You're just doing it from home. So I'm putting grades in so that you can see what I get from you. Maybe you thought you did something, but you did it in a different way, or somehow I didn't see it. So if you have a 0 for something, then that means I didn't see that you did it. So you need to go back and take a look or communicate with me, let me know. Okay, so keep looking in student view. I don't do it every day, but I do it by the end of the week because everybody does their work at a different time. Okay, so you want to check in and then check your grades from last week, and that lets you know if you have anything you need to make up. Okay, everything will stay on Google Classroom, so you'll be able to get back to it if you're missing it. Um, but you definitely want to keep a lookout for that. Okay, so for this week, we're going to start off just like last week by completing a checklist, and you'll check here, and this is where you'll go through and kind of tell me how you're feeling getting started. Okay, I know it might seem a little bit silly, but it's good to think about like how we're feeling. It affects how we work. If we're having a bad day already, or if we're still too tired, or if I'm gung ho and ready to work. Okay, that kind of lets me know the mood you're in. Okay, um, if you have anything to tell me, if there's something going on in your life that maybe is going to make work more difficult this week, right? Or if something wonderful happened that you just want to share with me, I'd love to hear about that too. Make sure that you can find all the work for the week and you can tell me yes, you did or no, you didn't. Um, if you need help getting started with your assignments. Now, if you click yes, it's going to be really helpful if you can let me know what you need help with. So make sure you're sending me an email, which I can comment a little faster to an email compared to a Google Classroom comment, but I will see both. What I usually see first is an email. Also, if you leave a Google comment, it sends me an email, but I have to go back to Google Classroom in order to do it. Whereas if you send me an email, I can reply right from my phone. So sometimes that's a little bit faster. So you always can go right in, but whatever works for you is also fine. I'll get to it and make sure that I respond to you. And then if you have any questions about your assignments, and sometimes it's hard, I know, to ask the question. If you're not understanding something, it's hard to really explain that. But if you can at least be specific and tell me which assignment you're having trouble with, or do you just need some help to talk through the directions, or are you stuck at a certain point, something like that. Okay, because it'll really help me to get to what you need as soon as possible. Okay, so that's the first thing. You're going to do your checklist. Then you're going to watch this video, which is going to take you to Brain Pop. Pay attention when you get the Brain Pop. I know it wasn't working last weekend. They were doing some maintenance, so you might still have some to make up from last week. So you might have more than one assignment. Okay. This week assignment is adjectives and adverbs. So you're going to watch that video and you're going to take the quiz. And they're both in the assignments. Then you're going to come here and complete the worksheet. This came right from BrainPop, but you're able to type your answers right into these spots. Okay, you can look at my example. Who wants to ride on the roller coaster? And then you rewrite that and you add an adjective or an adverb, which I did there. Who wants to ride on the huge roller coaster? Okay, because it's describing it. And you'll learn a little bit more about the video in the video if you don't remember those. Okay, next slide. You're going to click on this video and I'm going to read a story in Raz Kids. Okay, I just picked a random story that had a lot of information about adjectives and some adverbs. And it's also kind of a good example of learning words and learning vocabulary and what's important. So pay attention to that. Okay, then you'll go to your next slide and you're going to use the information from that story to fill in the blanks here. And you can type right on this slide into the blanks. Now, I did assign this story in Raz Kids, so you're able to go back and look and read it if you want. But you can put words here that make sense as well. It does not have to be the exact words that you saw. Okay? Here you're going to create your own sentences. So you can use the space to create 5 sentences. You can just number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you'd like to try something a little more challenging or maybe even a little more fun for you, you can make a paragraph or a short story. If you'd like to add a slide so that your story's longer, that's fine. But what I'd like you to do is either bold or highlight the adjectives or the adverbs that you add. Okay? And then this last slide tells you about our regular weekly things. So remember, 2 sessions of Imagine Learning. I've changed it to 20 minutes. Sometimes it'll stop you at like 18 minutes or 22 minutes because it wants you to finish something in a logical spot. But you need to do two sessions. Remember, I'm putting grades in so you can see what you got done and your parents can see what you got done. And if I put in a grade for Imagine Learning and you do 1 session, that's 50%. Think about what grade of 50% is, okay? So it's important to do both sessions. Then you're going to read 2 stories in Raz Kids. Remember, when I say read, I mean listen to it, read it, and then take the quiz. Depending on your level, there may or may not be a quiz, and that's okay. Some stories might not have one, but I will be able to see what you do. By the way, I can also see how long it takes you or how long you're in there. So if you log in one time for 30 seconds and you take 3 quizzes, I kind of know that you were just clicking through. So make sure that you're actually doing it and you're doing your best, because I'm going to start putting these actual scores in too, not just whether or not you went in. Okay. And then the third thing, and I know this is a little more challenging, but we do need to be practicing this so we get better at it. You're going to go to No Red Ink. Okay, and remember, from Google Classroom, you can just type right in here, No Red Ink. Oops, if you can spell it. No Red Ink, you're going to go right into there, and I've assigned an activity. Okay, it's what does the adjective describe? Okay, so it's got a little tutorial, like a little lesson, and then some practice. Okay, now if you have something in there from before that maybe you didn't finish, you might have an assignment before that, but this is the one I'm assigning for this week. It's actually called, What Does the Adjective Describe? Okay, so then when you finish that, you'll come right down here. Most of you did not see this last week, I think. There is a end of the week checklist. Now you're supposed to do all your work first, and then you check here and you tell me how you feel finishing up, and then congratulations, you are all done. Okay? So what I probably will also do is put up another chapter of Percy Jackson, maybe 2, to finish off that book. And that's not required, but it's for those of you who would like to finish up the story. Okay? I'll just put that up as a separate post. All right? So do your best, work hard. Let me know if you have questions. Remember that the office hours, you can see, I don't think I have it open here, but the office hours are Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 9:30 to 11. That doesn't mean that's the only time that you can contact me. It just means I'll be sitting here at that time. So if you send an email, I'm going to see it right away. Okay? However, you can send an email anytime you want. I hope you're not up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but if you send me an email at 3 o'clock in the morning, as soon as I check my email, I'll see that. Okay? So do your best, work hard, make sure to check in with all your classes, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your family, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.